Hey guys, we're going to repeat the same soap that I used yesterday, Grapefruit from Southern Witchcrafts and AP Reserve, Australian Private Reserve. The soap was done by Southern Witchcrafts and APR did the scent. I really like both elements of this one. Going to be using the Zenith B23, and the narrow field of view is compliments of my older phone. I reviewed the video that I did recently with my Chromebook as the recorder, and although it was nice that I was able to mute you when I was making noisy faucet noises and things like that, I didn't like how you kind of had to wait on me to do things with towels and all that, and so I like the ability to be able to pause you. And then I also discovered that the quality of the video was reasonably good on this phone. It just doesn't look that good on the display that I'm looking at, but that didn't really matter too much, right? It is the big negative on this one is the narrow field of view. I just don't have a lot of screen real estate with this particular selfie camera that's pointing at me. But hopefully maybe a week before I get my new phone, that'll have a better video capability. So we soldier on. The blade we're going to use today is my old Nacet. Why am I doing that? Is because the Nacet and this razor, the Fatip Grande head, open comb head, and then this is the Piccolo handle. Now, I could have been mistaken when I said Grande. The Grande, I believe, is the fat handle with the open comb. I don't know how they actually divvy up what Grande means and what it doesn't. Piccolo, I know, refers to a razor with this handle. And so we'll say this is the Piccolo with the open comb. This is a special edition. It may still be available at Connaught Shaving. And the gold base plate here is interchangeable, and this edition of the razor actually comes with the other Gentile head as well, which is the closed comb, and man, that guy is smooth. I've used it recently. This is what I'm planning on using for Austere August, and I wanted to make sure that my notes were correct before I started on August 1st with this. Now, with the Fatip, I found that a great way to go is simply to drop the razor straight in, drop the head straight in, tighten it up, and then review. So let's look at it. Oh, I forgot, that's right, this Nacet has that little, the edge, the resolution on this camera may not let you see it, but use 225 or so, I dropped the blade and it got a little bit of a bend. Looks like alignment is perfect. Nice. So, if it always goes like that for you, then you're not going to be complaining about Fatip alignment issues, I'll tell you that. The brush had a chance to soak for a good while I was in the shower. I did take a shower, so my face has been kind of pre-moistened and a lot of the oils removed, so that first pass might be a little better than usual. This is the 302nd use of my Nacet, and so I used it all of June for the Lather games, and I'm going to use it, is the plan, for all of August for Austere August, and so we're going to be hitting 333 or something uses by the end of August. Alright, so I am going to take, this will be my second use of this soap. Had a nice long soak on the brush. This is, I don't know, the 7th use, 8th use of this. I'm going to shake most of the water out. It is, as you can see, not really blooming all that much, and that is normal for a young boar. Alright, so where's my counter? There it is. I am going to do a, let's do a 25-second load this time. So I'm going to stop at the 10-second mark. He says out loud to remind himself. This brush was kind of a pain to use. except for the last time I used it, in which it was a little more enjoyable. And so I already think that the transformation is done in terms of, it started in terms of switching from too stiff to nice and comfy. Let me rinse the tub out here. Alright, so let's start working the lather. I did splash my face during the break there with a little bit of water to just keep my stubble hydrated. Yesterday's brush was a big old B4. This is a smaller knot brush, but it's a lot stiffer. And so I hope that looks like we've got enough lather going on here. That's going to increase as I keep adding water. Sometimes when you change brushes, you need to change your soap load time. But 30 seconds gave me a little bit more lather than I wanted last use, and so that's why I reduced it to 5. Since it's a stiff brush, but it's a smaller brush, I considered those two factors to kind of cancel each other out. And so hopefully the 25-second load is going to be fine. Stiff brush will grab more soap because it's like a harder shovel. But then a smaller brush will grab less because there are less shovels, if we can put it in that kind of comparison. So hopefully those two things canceled each other out. Wonderful base here. What I get from the notes are the grapefruit, the yuzu, the pear and mango, and the aldehydes, and all those things. The nice sweet fruits are on one side of the equation, the balance, and then the tart fruits like grapefruit are on the other side, and they balance each other out really well. They keep each other interesting. They keep each other from being, well, this is a grapefruit soap, or, well, this is an orange soap. I got 2 teaspoons in the lather now. Yeah, the one bad thing is I have to hold the bowl up if I want to kind of show you the lather as it's being built. And then the aldehydes, it's kind of an effervescent type smell, and it complements both very well. And so it's just a wonderful combination. APR did the scent, and so he did a great job with that. So that's 2 teaspoons. Yesterday I used a whopping 6 teaspoons, and I've only reduced the soap load time by a small amount, and so we'll just see how much water we add this time. With this brush being a little more stiff than it's going to be later, I may choose to run this lather a little thicker, give a better face experience. Performance was excellent last time. Nice silky feel. Really felt just as good as many tallow soaps, and that's high praise from me for a vegan soap. These guys are not witches. I checked. Southern Witchcrafts folks. That's just kind of a theme interest of theirs. Already it's looking terrific. Just a beautiful lather. So that's 4 teaspoons in. That might be all we need to do. Got to push the more concentrated stuff down from the walls. Make sure we get a good homogeneous mix. This is a 3D printed lather bowl that I had a friend online contacted me and he had a design going. I helped him tweak it a little bit, and then he printed me the bowl. Isn't that cool? Alright. This looks terrific. Let's use that. Man, it's humid in here. Woo! I'm sweating. The air conditioner has been fixed at this location, so that is tremendous. Alright. But a humid bathroom will still, the other guy likes it a little warmer, so the situation kind of may not improve. Okay, so the blade's loaded. I just need to get my face wet, and then we will start lathering up. Yeah, that's the backbone is stiff. However, even from the beginning, this was not a scratchy brush. It was just, you know, scrubby. Now, scrubby enough to where if you had a aggressive razor, you may not want to, you know, use this brush after that kind of shave. I did find one. I hunted around just a little bit, because on Boar brushes you can look around for those bristles that are square all the way to the top of the brush. If you feel like maybe your brush is a little too prickly or pokey, because those will take forever to split if they do. And so I like to fish through them, pull them over to the side so that then I can bring my scissors next to the knot and snip them out. Heard a few others do that as well. So this is feeling good right now, and so this brush is just going to get even better. The other Zeniths I have, I think when it comes out of the mounted area where the knot is, it opens up into more of a V shape, whereas this one kind of comes straight up out of the socket. And so it's a little bit different, and that may very well be affecting the feel in the backbone. Now this feels a little too dry. So let's add a few drops onto the tips of the brush and see what develops. Don't forget to take what's on the sides and kind of put that on your face too. Kind of circulates the lather around on your brush. You need to spend a couple minutes, and we already have that, so we can quit anytime we want to. Letting that lather work its way kind of into your skin a little bit to protect you, and then to further soften those hairs. Alright, let's do it. So today I'm using the Nacet knot to start ahead of time, because we do have about a week before August happens. But I just wanted to make sure that this razor and blade were a good match to approach August with. Now, of course, I'm getting a little bit more tugging than I have for the past few weeks since I switched away from this blade. I'm used to really smooth cutting. So just a little bit more light tugging I'm getting. So this does seem like still a very good option for the Austere August. pause you for the rinse. And then we're going to take the goatee lather, put it in my trouble spot here. There we go. Could even take some of that border lather, move it around as well. Feel free to do that if you got some excess, you know, and you just want to touch up some spots. You can just move the lather around your face if you feel like doing that. Oh, but now I don't have a clean pinky to hit the pause button. One of the things I'm also used to with the younger blades is the fact that most of my stubble's pretty much gone after the first pass, and I still have some length on those hairs right now after the first one with the Nacet. But in my past experience, sorry for the pause, the Nacet makes up for it in the second and third passes. Is this the one with the, yep, I could feel the bent little blade area right there. I was wondering if my skin was telling me the location of the bent blade, and it was. So this pass is a lot more comfortable. A lot of that extra stuff has been taken away. And there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that second pass with the Nacet has to do a little bit more work, but it does it well. As my hair is drying, it's kind of flopping down in my face. After the shower, I need a haircut very badly. Third pass. Glad to put another use on this brush. I definitely considered picking this brush for the Austere August because it does need to have some uses put on it. But I think I'm going to go with my Sambac Owners Club Taj, which already has some uses, and so it would, putting another 31 uses on it would get me near where the highest number of uses I have for a Boar is, and that's the one I want to kind of focus on putting a lot of uses on. It's outside the scope of the dozen or so brushes I have in my Boarathon, and I kind of would do that intentionally. The Taj handle, I want to have that one just be the one that I go the farthest on and I see the most changes in, is my goal. And who knows, I could change my mind about that and pick another brush to be my let's put some miles on it to watch how it changes brush, you know. But for now, it seems like a good choice. Decisions. So this, very smooth. I do, you know, feel the blade a little bit, but it's just not a big deal at all. Just an example of how I'm not sitting here shaving with something that's a, you know, painful or a chore or anything like that. Now let's take the goatee lather and do this area right here in kind of the reverse direction. Well, in terms of comfort, looks like this will be a good choice for the Austere August shaves. Happy with that. As is the case with the Nacet, the 3-pass shave often does not get me quite close enough on my neck. My face is usually just fine, but let's do another neck pass. Because after all, even if somehow I'm able to get to 500 shaves, if the last 100 are of unacceptable quality, that's not what I'm going for, and so I would quit before that. One of my standards here is to make sure that I'm always getting a close enough shave. It may not be high scrutiny close, or lawyer close or something like that, but it needs to be close enough to where most guys can go to their jobs and not worry about their boss complaining about the shave. So I'm touching up the one area that kind of needs it the most, and the rest of the neck is pretty good. And as you can see, sometimes when you have a razor full of lather like this, you can kind of back press it like that and get soap delivered to your face. All right, I think we're good. Well, it looks like we dug up plenty of soap because we have a good bit of lather remaining. So I could maybe reduce by another 5 seconds for this particular brush. The lather was terrific. That's just exactly where I like this base. It holds a lot of water well, so very, very nice. I like the way how the brush is progressing. It felt better today than it did last time. We'll see. I think it's just going to be a little slow to open up. The tips have started to split, especially around the perimeter of the knot. So there's that's happening. It's going to make it softer and softer as more of those do split. Wonderful experience with the soap again today. It's interesting, it's slightly invigorating because of the grapefruit type of vibrant notes to it, but it's not so jarring that it's, to me, bothersome. I don't like the Baker Street type, punchy type scents. Yeah, and I think the final shave is close enough to continue, so we're good there. Very nice. If you want to know more of the notes of the grapefruit, I told you the ones that kind of stand out to me, but you can look at the description of the video. I've listed them all based on what the manufacturer, what Southern Witchcrafts published about it. So that's there for you. For the exhaustive list, there's like a dozen or so. So we're good. I am going to put on probably a little bit of maybe some witch hazel after this. Smooth shave, I don't have any irritation, anything like that. And probably some Aqua Velva 5-in-1 balm. That's a really good one to nourish your skin. I don't really need it per se because I have oily skin, but it's still a fun one to put on every once in a while. And it has a nice, even-keeled, manly type scent, warm, spicy kind of scent. All right, guys. I hope there's been something in this video that's going to help you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and we've got a few more shaves before we start Austere August. So far, the plan is for the soap to be MDC, Martin de Condré, because I'm super curious how much use I'll see of that in a month, and then I can measure the change in weight, and then forecast how much that soap is actually going to give me in terms of uses per jar. I'm so curious about that because it looks like it's going to take a long time to use up that tub, and so then you can calculate the value per ounce and see if it really is an expensive soap. If it lasts a long time, then maybe it's not truly an expensive soap when you do the math. All right, and then the very soap and the blade and razor I used today, the Fatip open comb, probably what I'll use, and then the Taj Boar brush from Samog. That's the Samog Owners Club. There we go. I'll have to pick an aftershave. All right. Hey guys, you take care. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.